What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Right, straight to it. In today's video we're in the Ford Fiesta and I'm going to show you guys how to remove and replace the window runners. So if you have a stuck electric window, perhaps it won't go up and down at all, or it gets so far and struggles and stops, or it doesn't work, or you think you've got something stuck inside the window, you can hear it grinding and stuff like that, I'm going to show you guys how to fully dismantle it, get to the back of the runners that the glass goes up and down in. I need to replace the runners in mine as the cables are frayed. I'm sure there'll be some of you out there with a similar problem. Perhaps you've tried all the electrical stuff and it's still not working. It's probably because the cables that bring the runners up and down are frayed or rusted and getting stuck. So in today's video I'm going to show you guys how to remove and replace the electric window runners for the Ford Fiesta. Also included in this video will be how to get to the electric window motor, regulator and everything behind the door, and I'll show you the removal of the door panel as part of this. The next clip you'll see, you might notice, is an old clip as it's from the video on the window motor I've already done. There's no point filming it twice. So the next clip will show you guys how to get the door panel off, and then we'll look at replacing the window runners themselves. But let's go. Right guys, as you can see here, I've got the door open. I'll show you the problem itself. So this is the front window control. It'll go all the way down, as you can see. Try and go up, and you can hear it creaking inside. Tried everything. It did sort of make a load of noise, but still go up at one point. Not now. So we're going to look at getting this door card off so we can expose the mechanism, and hopefully it's just something stuck inside it, something simple, and we can get it back up without spending any money and buying a new regulator. It'll most likely just be debris stuck inside it. So the first thing we've got, well, I will. So if you continue to prise around this gently, it will pull off. It's a bit stiff here. It's just on clips all the way around. Get your screwdriver under it. Like so. You can pull this fully out the way. Now be careful of this bit where your window switches are. Don't rag it off because there is wires behind it. There we go, and this just pulls away. Now if you want it fully off, you can undo the wires with that clip there, but we don't need to today. We just need to get to the bolts. So we have T25 bolt. If you look carefully, we've got one there, we've got one in this hole here, and well, that's it. So I'm going to undo these. Like so. Careful not to lose your screws. Let's throw them in there for safety. And then undo this one. Like so. Careful not to drop it in there, that'd be a nightmare. So we've got all the main bolts undone, and now if we look low down here, we've got two bolts, one there and one there. Now they're just plastic bolts, the 10mm bolts. You undo them a bit and then pop them out with a screwdriver. They're just basic plastic clips that look like bolts. So they're going to undo those next, and we should be able to start undoing the door panel. Just cut it off. Right guys, that's all the screws and bolts out. These are your plastic ones from down below. Like I say, 10mm. Undo them, just pop them off with a flat screwdriver. So everything's released, and now we're going to look at loosening the actual door panel and work our way around it and just start pulling it off like so. Pulling it off like so. There will be a few clips and bangs. It's best to work your way around the outside. Now in hindsight, it would have been a good idea to disconnect this so it doesn't get in your way of taking the actual door card off. We probably should have took that off, just like that. Beware too of the handle, the mechanism for the handle, but that's got a bit of play on it. and get it out of the way. Now, we've revealed the window itself. What I am going to do is, at this point, is check it again to make sure that it's still jammed. By reconnecting this. And yeah, nothing's changed. So, you can see here we've got the door card off, exposing all this, but the glass is behind this plastic panel. So the next job, we're going to have to take this plastic panel off, or at least loosen it. So these are 10mm bolts, and the next thing I'm going to do is undo all these 10mm bolts around the outside. Just the outside ones for now, and then we'll come back to it. Stop. Alright guys, as you can see, we have exposed the window motor, which is this thing here, and that is what makes your window go up and down. So yours is probably blown, jammed, whatever, you're replacing it. So the first thing we want to do is disconnect the power to it, which is this wire here, a yellow and white wire going to a little black clip. And if you have a look there, you see the clip, and it's got a tab underneath somewhere. Stick my finger in, it's a bit fiddly actually, and slide it out supposedly. Oh, the clip's on the back. Oh, I'm pressing the clip there. There you go, dead easy. And now we can get that wire out of the way. Exposing the motor connected to, I'm guessing it's a sprocket or some a drive to turn the actual window. So the next thing we want to do is undo these 3 Torx bolts, which are, right guys, we have a T25 bit, a Torx 25 bit for these 3 bolts. We'll undo them. Right guys, so we've released the window motor. When you buy a new motor, I'm not sure, because it's been a while since I've done one, if you get the motor on its own, or you get this whole unit with the sort of the sprocket, this bit. Some of you will find that this sprocket would have wore down. This does happen on some other cars. The plastic wears down, so you have to replace the whole regulator bit too. I think they come as a full unit. If they don't, you've got 3 Allen key bolts that look like an 8mm to get the motor off, but I'm pretty certain they come all as one, and that is your window motor. So at this point, right guys, so showing you how to remove and replace the window regulator motor itself, this bit here, but my window's still sticking, as that's not the problem. So I've pulled the glass out. For those of you who don't know, the glass is in little plastic tabs there. You can get to this through the speaker hole for that tab, and you click the tab out the glass to lift it up, and there's also another hole down here for the other tab, and the glass just slides up and out. So anyway, I've got the glass out of the way, revealing the inner workings, and it's hard to show on camera, but we have a frayed cable down here. So every time I try and go up and down, it's catching on the cable. See how it's all frayed? So the other thing to do is buy new runners and cables. You can buy them in a kit with these 2 silver runners and all the cables for about 30-40 quid. So if you do have this problem and it's the cables, unfortunately the only way to sort of fix it is to replace it. So that's going to be the next step. What's up guys, you join me from inside my flat. The reason I'm doing this is not, I wouldn't normally show an unboxing of a car part, but this part, the runners, or the cables and the silver runners for the inside of the window, I can't find it cheaper than $65.99 was the best price. And yet I found it on a site, a dodgy looking site I'll admit, for 27 quid, and thought I'll take the risk for 27 quid, and it came the next day. This was yesterday, so I think it's worth mentioning now. I've not unboxed it yet, but I thought I'd share it with you guys, as it's very cheap and I'm hoping it's legit, so you guys can use it in the future as well. And yep, there's the splines for the motor. and your two runners with the clips in. There's nothing wrong with that, and we have some nice unfrayed cables that are going to actually go up and down. Yeah, I mean, I can't vouch for the quality of it. It might only last a month, but I mean, it's just cables and bits of metal. You can't really go wrong. So yeah, I recommend that, guys. It's from a place called, I can't remember the name already, so I'll put a description. I'll put a link in the description to the actual site I got it from. It's a bit of a random site, it seems to sell random parts. But yeah, good, and it literally saved half price on that, and it came the next day. So let's crack on with the video and get these fitted. Right guys, so you're joining me since sliding the glass out, and as you can see here, I've managed to loosen this tray and pull it so far out. It's still connected to the cable for the handle, so it's just easier than taking it off, just letting it sit like that. Maybe put some cardboard or something underneath the door panel so you don't scratch it. So we need a Torx 25 bit, a T25 Torx bit, and we're going to undo these bolts here. So you've got your runners themselves on each side, and you've got the central bit where all the cables meet, and the other side of that is the window motor, which we've already taken out. The bolts for the window motor also hold that in, so you do have to take that out to do this. So I'm going to do a bolt there, a bolt down low down there. That'll be fun to get to, but I can pull this out a bit more. And again on the other runner, a bolt there, and then it should all just come off as one piece then. The cables are sort of not clipped in, but sort of, you know, wedged in place, so just beware of any cables. There's a cable, oh no, that's a wire. Yeah, so everything's pretty loose, so once we undo these bolts it should all just come out as one, and then we can replace it with a new one, which I think is amongst that mess down there. So I'm going to find it hard to show you undoing the bolts, but it's a T25, 2 on each runner, high and low. Make sure the window motor's off, and that all the runners should come off as one piece. So I'll get on with that. Right guys, as you can see here, we've got the old one off, and that's the new one next to it. Just checking the parts match and everything, and I can also show you the damage itself a bit closer. So if we focus that in, you can see the cable here on the runner. It's frayed like an old bike cable or something, and it's just getting stuck there and stopping it from going any further up and jamming in the wheel. It's got this one, nice fresh new cables, and we'll get it fitted in the reverse of what I've just showed you. So you've got your 4 bolts, your 4 T25 bolts, and this will just sort of clip on in place the other side of the motor, and then when we put the motor in, those screws grip these bits and pull this in, so also we'll take the cable tie off. I don't know why that's on there, I suppose it's to stop it from moving about in transit. Alright guys, let's get it on. Right guys, as you can see here, we've got the new piece in position, if you can see that. Sorry for the crap filming today. The motor's not on yet, or the motor bit. I'm just getting the last bolt tightened up. Thought I'd share it with you. You get the idea anyway. So we're going to tighten that bolt up, and then everything's secure. And then on this side, we just have to get a hand behind the motor, or behind this sprocket here, make sure it's clipped into position, and then hold it on while we tighten the motor on, and we'll give it a test whirl before we put everything back together. Right guys, as you can see, the glass is back in, and finally we have a working window. Now it is getting caught a bit around there and going a bit slow, so I'm going to look into it, but it works, which is good. Problem solved, job done. And that was how to remove and replace the window motor and the window runners on the Ford Fiesta. Now if there's any bits you struggle with putting it back together, just rewind on the video and look to when I was taking the door card off and the speaker off. There is a speaker replacement video to help you with the speaker bit if you're unsure. It is just clipping the wire back on, and you've got 4 bolts that go around the speaker, and then the door card panel back on, this trim back on. And that's pretty much it really, not too bad. So guys, I hope you found this useful. If you're new around here, my name's Sam and you're watching One Life Cars. If you like this sort of content, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And until next time, thanks for watching and goodbye.